You're starving, freezing, stranded with Magellan's fleet in 1520 at the edge of the known world. Then, through the mist, you see it. Not a man, a monster, towering and impossible. This isn't fiction, it's a first-hand account from a terrified sailor. He claimed the tallest man on his ship wouldn't even reach this figure's chest. And that encounter launched a 500-year-old mystery. Was it an exaggeration, or did giants once walk the earth? To find out, we're heading to Patagonia, a place so wild and remote, legends feel at home here. For centuries, no story from this land has captured imaginations like the Patagonian Giants. And this wasn't just one sailor's tall tale. For over 250 years, history's most famous explorers, from Magellan to Drake to Byron, claimed to have seen these giants with their own eyes. We're talking reports of humans 7, 9, even 12 feet tall. Today, we're on the trail of this ancient mystery. We'll dig into original ship logs, explorer accounts, lost bones, and modern science. Our goal is to answer one question: who or what did Magellan's crew actually see? Let's find out. It's 1520. Magellan's crew is battered, near mutiny, trapped by winter in a desolate harbor they name San Julian. Then they see him, a lone figure on the shore, singing and dancing. Magellan sends a man to mimic the gestures, a peace offering. It works. The figure approaches. What happens next sounds impossible. The ship's chronicler, Antonio Pigafetta, wrote that this man was so tall, their heads barely reached his belt. Remember, most sailors back then were around 5'5". This wasn't just a tall man, this was something else. They brought him aboard, showed him a mirror. He recoiled, stunned by his reflection, accidentally knocking over 4 sailors. Soon, more of his tribe appeared, and they were all enormous. Magellan named them the Patagons, possibly for their big footprints in the sand. But awe turned to something darker. Magellan decided he needed proof. He offered 2 young men shiny shackles, pretending they were gifts. When their hands were full, he clamped the chains around their legs. Pigafetta wrote they roared like bulls. Both men died during the voyage home. Their bodies were buried at sea. But the story? It survived. And when Magellan's last surviving ship, the Victoria, returned to Spain, it brought with it a legend. The Age of the Giants had begun. Magellan's story lit a spark. In 1578, Sir Francis Drake's crew passed through the same waters and confirmed it. Magellan was not altogether deceived. They saw them too, men over 7 feet tall. Then came more reports. A Spanish captain in 1580, a sailor in 1592 who claimed he saw 12-foot skeletons. Soon, maps labeled Patagonia as Regio Gigantum, region of the giants. Mapmakers didn't just mark the coast, they drew actual giants on the land. But it didn't stop there. In the 1760s, Commodore John Byron, the grandfather of poet Lord Byron, sailed into the Strait of Magellan with the HMS Dolphin. His crew reported meeting natives 9 feet tall. Europe exploded. The story hit London, Paris, and beyond. A book about the voyage became a bestseller, complete with dramatic illustrations of towering people. For a moment, the idea of human giants wasn't fringe, it was accepted fact. How could so many explorers, across so many decades, all be imagining the same thing? Here's the problem. Stories are great, but where are the skeletons? If a race of 9 to 12-foot humans existed, we should have found their bones. And for a time, it looked like we had. Enter Florentino Ameghino, an Argentine paleontologist in the late 1800s. He claimed to have found ancient human fossils in Patagonia. Giant ones. It made headlines. Was this the proof? Not quite. When others came to verify his work, everything fell apart. Ameghino had no solid records of where the bones came from. He misdated the fossils. His ancient humans were actually quite recent. It was a scientific mess. But Ameghino's failure revealed something important. Patagonia is full of giant bones, just not human ones. Enormous sloths, prehistoric beasts, megafauna. For centuries, people may have been unearthing these animal bones and imagining giants. So if there were no giants, what did Magellan's crew actually see? The answer is the Tehuelche. This indigenous Patagonian tribe really was tall. Men often stood over 6 feet, some reached 6'4" or more. They were strong, well-fed, wrapped in thick animal hides, and viewed through the eyes of exhausted sailors. To a 5'5" malnourished European, a 6'4" man draped in furs could look like something out of a legend. The crew didn't lie, they were overwhelmed. And that's how it started. A 6'4" man became 7 feet. 7 feet became 9. 9 feet stretched to 12. It was the ultimate game of telephone, spread across oceans and centuries. A real moment, amplified by awe, misunderstanding, and our love for monsters. The myth didn't need to be faked to grow. It just needed time and a world ready to believe it. So, what's the final verdict? Were there 12-foot humans roaming Patagonia? No, there were no literal giants. But there were real people, impressively tall, misunderstood, and mythologized. And dismissing the legend as just a myth would miss the point. The story of the Patagonian Giants is about awe, contact, and how the unknown becomes unforgettable. It's about how we process the unfamiliar and how a single moment can echo across centuries. The giants may not have walked the earth, but they've towered in our imagination ever since. What do you think? Did we get it right, or is there more to the story? Drop your theories in the comments. We want to hear them. And if you enjoyed this journey through one of history's weirdest mysteries, hit like and subscribe. Because next time, we have more past hidden history to explore. You won't want to miss it.